Welcome back to Beautiful Mind. Today we are going to be discussing Saturn return and what that is. So this one is going to be a little different. I am not going to show you my Saturn scales, but I am going to discuss with you what happens when planets return to areas where they were before. And this one happens to be our first one is April 14th. So I'm going to take you over and we're going to just talk about this really quickly. And then we are going to be discussing this area right here. I've been talking about August 26th in my sidereal time. In the last few tutorials, I've been talking about this 25-300 area. And August, I said we would get some direction. And let's just go ahead and we'll talk about that. So first, we're going to talk about this April 15th. Let's just go take a look at the ephemeris because that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about Saturn. So let's go ahead and let's talk about Saturn, this green planet here. And on this day, on April, we had our swing top at 31,000. We had the sun made a conjunction with Jupiter here. But more importantly, we had Saturn. Saturn also had a relationship. It was exactly square with Venus right here, this other green planet that I have here. So Saturn is returning now and is retrograde since making a top at 31,000 and is returning now to the third and fourth degree in August. Let's go take a look at that. Okay. August. Saturn. It's retrograde right now. And I said to you in my last tutorials, and you can go check out my tutorials, I've been talking about this for quite a while. Around the August 26th period, Saturn is returning to its third degree of Pisces. And we had a top there at 31,000. Interesting. Now, Saturn is the brakes. Say we're talking about a vehicle. It's the brakes. It applies resistance. Saturn is the chronos. It's the timekeeper. It takes 30 years to go around. It's the judge. It creates boundaries. So it's back to where it was at 31,000. Looks like we're right back to our 25,300. We're going to talk about all that too. So the sun has come around now and is making an exact opposition right now, coming up on the 26th. And I am calling for probably a change in trend. We'll probably have a bottom around there. And into this September, we're going to have probably a spike move up or some type of change in trend, maybe even a huge move down. It's possible we could move down to 19,000 in November 19th. We'll see that. All right, so now I've showed you this. This is the types of things that you can learn coming to my workshops. I teach you all about the ephemeris and the planetary cycles and whatnot. And this is my whole prognosis, and this is the reason why you're on my channel. You didn't just stumble upon here by mistake. This is very esoteric in nature, all my work. It is all original GAN material. So this is what we're doing. We're coming back to this area around the 26th. So let's go just take a look at the chart as well. So now that we're understanding how important these celestial bodies are, and when they come back and revisit areas of the zodiac where they were when a very big event happened. All right, let's move ahead. So right now we're talking about Saturn here. It's right here opposite the sun. The sun is almost making a complete 180 degree. Venus is retrograde right now, and I expect when Venus comes across and makes an opposition, I expect that we will most likely have some kind of a little talk. When will that happen? All right. Again, here's Saturn. This is September. It's the 23rd hour in sidereal time. Venus will be, or Saturn will be in the second and third degree. And Venus is going to be coming down here. And it doesn't look like it is going to be hitting here. Well, I really thought that it was going to be coming in and making an opposition here. It looks like it's still retrograde and it's going to move ahead. Huh, that's because it's October when that happens, right? Right. September, 1 degree. So I'm calling for a low. I've been talking about this October between the 6th and the 16th. There's a low, and to buy. There's an eclipse, a solar eclipse, and a lunar eclipse is happening. So again, it says to watch around the eclipses. Very important. So we're watching this. So Venus is going to be 180 degrees Saturn. And I think we're going to have another bottom here, and we're going to take off, and we're going to have a move up into November. November, between the 7th and 9th, we'll have a swing top channel. And then from the 17th will be, again, another swing top. The 19th, we're going to get a swing low and a channel. So there's a bunch of stuff happening in November. And as you know, the election is on the 3rd. So I expect some kind of a top to come in around there. So we'll talk about that later on. And of course, we'll talk about my yearly forecasts. So October, around the 10th, 11th, Venus, this planet here, will be opposite Saturn. So I expect again another bottom or something around there. So we'll just see if this 25 holds, or if we in fact break this 25. And as I said, if we break this 25, then it's very possible and likely we move right back 23, 21, and back to 19. It's very possible. It's very possible. However, we could hold on here and get some grip. Usually when we have these Saturn oppositions, we have another move back up after this. The brakes are put on. So we'll just see if we're going to move back up to 28 and retest this area and 31. So let's go take a look at the charts now, and let's talk about that really quickly. So I've expressed to you already that Saturn, when it was at 3 degrees, was here. And on the 26th, Saturn will be at 3 degrees again. Do I think it'll be down around this area here, or in this area? Sure looks like it. Okay, so we've now talked about Saturn in that context. I can talk to you a lot more about Saturn as well. I can give you 3 more examples of how come the price is here, here, and here. Let's talk about that really quickly, okay? When the sun was over on this side in February, and let's go take a look at that, because I think it's really important that you guys pay attention to this. This is why you're going to sign up to my workshop. You're going to learn how to forecast and know everything about how to do all this stuff with planets. So this is Saturn here, okay? February 2023, okay? The sun, right here, came in on this date here. These 2 planets, they came together. That's right, they were at 28 degrees right there. Okay, so they came together. What happened? Right, we had a swing low and a fast move up. Remember? Let's go take a look. So
February 14th, we were talking here, right? Look at that. We had a swing low and a fast move up to 25. Okay, so that's interesting. Well, I wonder what happened when the sun was now square with Saturn. Let's go take a quick look at that. Okay, what would that look like? Well, let's go take a look at our other ephemeris. There we go. The next time the sun would be square with Saturn, let's go take a look at it, guys. Here's May. Saturn, it's at 6 degrees. May, the sun moves into June. It's at the 6th degree on the 28th. Okay, let's go take a look at the 28th of May. Wonder what happened over there. Well, you guys, this is what happened. We have this bottom right here, and it's exactly the same point right here. And what did we have? That's right, we had a little kickoff right here. See that? Okay. Now we are now back to where the sun is now moved from a square. We first looked at the conjunction. We're now square, and now we're looking at the opposition is about to occur in the next few days. Do you think that we're going to have a bottom around this 26 level, which is obviously where we are at, and we're going to retest 28? I think so. You just hit that like and that subscribe button, and you're signing up to my course where we are talking about workshops for forecasting original GAN material. Can I take you over there real quick? And this is what you can do. You can come right over here. This is DeBoff Enterprises. This is populated with my products and workshops. This is my Square 9. This is what I'm showing you. Comes with a booklet and planetary pieces, and you're going to be able to forecast better than the pros. It's a really good value price at $562. We also have our GAN Bitcoin workshop coming up. You can hit this link here and sign up. It's on the 5th of November. It's going to be in Kelowna. And we're going to be having a full presentation of the Square of 9 in its entirety. Then you're going to have a workshop where you're going to work on all this stuff, and I'm going to help you through it with instruction. Then we're going to shift gears in the afternoon, and we're going to talk about time cycles and planetary things and how to create annual accurate forecasts, right? And that's where you're going to have a workshop where you're going to be creating these Bitcoin yearly forecasts for 24 and 25, which will aid you in the future and help you to build your knowledge. So it's $1,200. It's a great value. Comes with the Square of 9, comes with all the stuff, instruction, presentation, food, and you're going to get crunched right through an entire GAN course. No one ever produces this type of work. I'm the only one. I'm the leading GAN scientific analytical researcher. So sign up for our workshops. What's going to happen moving forward? We've been talking about this yellow line together here. We've been saying that this 25,300 has to hold. It has to hold. If we cross this line and move down to this area here, which if we make it down to 23,000, I still don't believe that we're in a bear market yet. However, we're going to talk about some other things as well in the next few tutorials. But at this moment, I wanted to show you why we were having this fall off here. Well, let's just go take a real quick look at that, okay? I mean, we're just going to look at the 1 year cycle, guys. This is not, this isn't rocket science, guys. I mean, I was talking to you about how, in fact, you're able to forecast into the future. You need bars patterns. You know, this is what GAN was doing back in the day with hand-drawn charts, okay? So we're going to talk about that. Let's go take a look at it. Okay, so we're just going to take it from here and we're just going to run it out. We'll run it out to here. It's fine. Let's just bring this over. So, what we're interested in right now, folks. All right. I'm just going to superimpose this right on top because we have to do it on the cycles. All right, let's just take a look at this. This is the reason why you're going to be signing up and subscribing to my channel. All right, you guys, last year this happened. So we've superimposed it right here. So we see we have our little kickoff tops here. We have these, the amplitude was different in obviously this campaign, but for this example, we're showing you the 1 year past previous cycle. So what did we have? We had a bottom exactly on time, right? Right on time. It's right on time. All right. So we carried on. We've had these swing tops. Our previous cycle continued on and still made these whipsaw and dead cat bounces up, right, to our 25,000 level here before subsiding. We went down. We stayed within, but we just topped out at this last bit, and then that's right, right? The time cycle kicked in, same thing, right? Look at all that volatility. What are we doing? We're doing the same thing right here, you guys. Look at this. And we're still in for some more volatility. It's not over. I said to the 26. I mean, this one, it shows it's out to the third. It shows it goes down onto the 18th here, but we have this capitulation top here where we retest this area. And the same here, right? November 3rd, if we run this cycle out, right when we have our, that's right, our perceived election, right? Also note the 19th, the inauguration, we usually have a low, so to watch out for that. September is historic for stock market turnarounds and a major move up, or a major move down. September is the 23rd sidereal hour. We know what happens in the 23rd hour. Okay, so I thought I'd share that 1 year cycle with you as to what could occur here. We could bring this down and match the amplitude. Let's see how that blue is right there. Okay, so the previous cycle was still somewhat stronger, made it up to the 34, 35,000, and subsided, or from 17,000 to 25. So this is a good observation of what we can expect to see. Will it happen exactly as it's unfolded before? As you can see, it's not always exact, but it is sure rhyming very scarily. This is what Mr. Gann was careful in watching. We're going to talk about our Fibonacci ring theory. So let's just dive right into that while we're here. So we're going to remove this one right here. Let's go take a look at 1 more year, right? I mean, come on, you guys. It's not that much. We're gonna take a look from right over here, right? Here's our old April. We're gonna go take a look at this one as well, and we're gonna come down. We're gonna go to our bars, right? That's what we want. Bars pattern. Okay, so let's just go from our old top, and let's just run it out. We can talk about this any old time, but let's just talk about this area right here because this is what we're really interested in. Okay. Let's just line this top up with our cycle top here. That's right, guys. That's how it works. Okay, so here we lined up the yearly cycle day for day. And as you can see, we had our bottom, which moved in, and we've been sort of doing the same thing, moving down. We've moved up and tried to retest these areas again, just like we did here. and we've moved up, and then we've had this really big move down in our present cycle. Our previous cycle carried on right into this September, where I was talking about we could likely see this, and then a really big pullback. And that would certainly from the 6th to the 16th of October, as I was saying, we could see this retest in a breakout or a bottom. So this is 2 years ago, right? This is our old 69,000 top. Now just notice, okay, from our 2 years ago, okay, just, this is what's important here, you guys, right? We're talking about this area, right? We're talking about this whole area, and it is really important when we are comparing cycles and time cycles. We have done somewhat of the very similar sine wave here. We haven't come back down in the amplitude. So is it possible we from here come back up and retest this area? I'm thinking that it's very likely that right around this area by the election, we retest this area and we have a big fall off, a big one. And we have a big whipsaw down to the 19th. So, and if we lose this yellow, if we lose 25,300, then for sure, my forecasts are for February. We're coming back to 15,000, you guys. Right? There's our blockchain event. And if you go back and look at my tutorials about our blockchain halving events, I know I have some 80 odd video tutorials, but if you go back and look at them, we're discussing that, you know, around these areas, these 1380, these 1335, these 1400 day counts, we around these blockchain areas, we have another bottom. And of course, in our previous cycle, right, back down to our June in next year, do I expect that we'll be down to this area in the next year here, 8,000? Well, we've been talking about this 8,000 as well. And as you guys know, right, I need to get the pointer off of there. I probably can't see it very well, but 31,000 is here, 25 is here. If we continue to loop around, 8 is right here. It's 135 degrees from 31. It is 180 degrees from 34. Are we going to see this next year in that time frame, next June, when the sun has come all the way around and is back here? Is that what's going to happen? Well, it's possible. I mean, we just have to watch it, and we're gonna talk about our Fibonacci rings, and we're gonna talk about our Fibonacci sequences here. And just take Mr. Gann and keep him in the foreground. So, in our Fibonacci ring theory, I want you to note that several of my tutorials back a year ago or over the last year or 18 months, we've been talking about ring theory. And inside this ring theory here, you have known that my projections were that this ring, we weren't going to do anything until we passed this ring. And we didn't do anything until we made our anniversary bottom on our square 9 exactly on the 10th here, right? From here. So from there, we crossed this ring. Where could we expect the next most critical amount of energy to happen? Using a ring theory, right? Well, looking forward, but before we look forward, Mr. Gann always says we have to look back. All right. So after our blockchain event, our ring here captured us. We had another capture here. And notice that when we got through the ring, the halfway point of the ring, there's always a lot of resistance here. When we made it to the other side, that's right, we couldn't get out of this, but we started to move up and look at where we got stuck right here. See it on our ring? Where are we now? We're around these areas here, and we need to stay above this ring. So we can see how powerful these rings can be. And it just held us. And we came right back. We passed through this ring, made it to the halfway point, and almost to the bottom of this ring. So, again, indicating strength. Failing to break above this ring here indicated extreme weakness on a double top. Mr. Gann talks about double tops extensively in all his books and courses. I course on all of them. Watching my tutorials, you will know that the next amount of resistance would have came when this ring here was again touched upon. From there, the energy had subsided, so we had put our trend lines up. We could run another Fibonacci sequence like this from our bottom up. However, I'm not 100% convinced we can make these levels. However, we have another Fibonacci extension line here and our next ring. So we have come up against our ring. We've had a Saturn return right in the center of this ring. Saturn has returned and stopped us and put the brakes on. We came over to here. Saturn has stomped on us again and put the brakes on. We're about to do another energy move where we could recover from this area and move up, possibly into this election time area and retest this area. This is not necessarily what will happen, but the likelihood of this happening is very great. Because this area has been made at 31, 32,000, this model works out quite well with the amplitude. Even though it is from this area here, we have just nearly put it on there exactly as Mr. Gann would do. He would be looking for the same things, these capitulation bottoms, these moves up to these tops, these move down, where he would see all these areas take place where volatility is likely to occur. So it is possible and likely that we could occur and see some more major volatility. I thought I'd share that with you. So we've covered our ring theory now, our Fibonacci ring theory. We've talked a little bit about our Fibonacci extension lines and how they have caught us. And our next one, of course, if we were to break above this area, is obviously over here. Is this going to occur? I think that by 2024, we will have made another bottom, and it's possible that we do come down and retest this 15,000 level for sure. I for sure feel that we are going to touch this level, and it may occur early in September or February, sorry, or it may occur late in February. Of course, my counts call for a 27-month bottom. February satisfies that, as it's done in the last 12 years in the last 3 bear campaigns that we've done. You can look at some of my tutorials going back where I have that populated. So moving forward here, if something bad were to occur around the election, we could subsequently be revisiting 8,000 and certainly 15,000. So let's be mindful. Now, our projection lines on our trend lines here. So looking at those. And I've started some more trend lines that are the same angle. So Mr. Gann was very careful in putting his trend lines on. And we're doing the very same thing. And we're keeping them on the very same angle. And we're running them from the 0 angle, this purple line, from all our bottoms here, where we make this kick off. So we've done our last one here. If we lose this, if we lose this 19,000 trend line from zero here at 15,000, that's not a good sign. We could essentially ride down, and by this 21st, we could be down to 19,000 right here, looking left right here. And if this were not to hold, that's right, it's 15 and all the way down. And we could certainly land our way down to 11,000. 11 is right here on our square. It is directly under 28,000. And we are actually vibrating just under 28,000 right now. And we're fighting this area. So it's possible. These are just areas of concern where we could expect possible pullbacks to, and they would still signal a big rally as one did occur here. And we could certainly do this. So let's just be mindful that even though we've suffered some pullbacks, we could still come down a little lower and sit on this 19,000, and that would be perfectly in line with the 21st. What do we have going on there on the ephemeris? Let's go take a look at September again, and let's just revisit what we could be going on around. Where are we saying? Around the 21st, around there, we got something going on. Okay, you guys. Virgo, September. Here's our planetary bodies. Moving down to the 21st here. What do we got going on? Well, we got the Sun and Pluto. These two are hooking up. Not good. We have also Mars. Mars is making a relationship with Mars and Venus right here. Also note, Mercury is at the end of its retrograde period, and we're going to have a major snapback, or something's going to happen there for sure. And notice the moon. The moon is also in conjunct with making a relationship with Mars and also with Venus here. So take a look at that. So that's why I'm talking about this area right here. Is that what's going to happen? Well, not necessarily, but my work has been very deep, and it has been correct about the times where we talk about things happening in the future. And if you go back, you will note that we were talking about this bottom, and it came right on time, and we used our ephemeris and all our tools to find it with the forecasting that Mr. Gann has instilled upon me with all his courses and books and material. So that's my prognosis. I hope you like that. It was a little long today. It's kind of tough to keep all this material short and condensed, but I do my best job to do that. Like, subscribe, sign up to our workshops. Peace and love. Make sure you use a stop loss. Get ready. We're about to finish off our bottoming sequence, and we may exhibit another move up and retest this area, as well as possibly make another move down into our September area. So just pay attention to that. Okay? Just want you to be safe. If we break this 25 level, it's 23. So peace and love, guys. Safe trading.